Welcome back. Imagine holding a gemstone so rare that for years, scientists believed it simply did not exist. A stone hidden so well by nature that it was mistaken for another gem entirely. A crystal so uncommon that even experienced collectors may spend their entire lives without ever seeing one in person. Now imagine discovering that this mysterious gemstone is actually rarer than diamonds, rarer than rubies, and even rarer than many treasures locked inside the world's greatest museums. This is the story of Taaffeite. A gemstone surrounded by mystery, chance, and one of the most unbelievable discoveries in the history of mineralogy. And the deeper researchers looked, the stranger the story became. Because Taaffeite was never supposed to be found. At least, that's what many experts once believed. The story begins with a simple mistake. But that mistake would eventually reveal one of Earth's greatest hidden treasures. Taaffeite is one of the rarest gemstones ever discovered. Unlike many famous gems that were known for thousands of years, Taaffeite remained completely hidden from human knowledge until the 20th century. Think about that for a moment. Ancient civilizations knew diamonds. They knew emeralds. They knew sapphires and rubies. Yet Taaffeite remained invisible. Not because it did not exist, but because nobody realized what they were looking at. The stone usually appears in beautiful shades of lilac, violet, pink, red, and sometimes nearly colorless tones. Its delicate appearance makes it resemble another gemstone called spinel. And that similarity kept its secret safe for countless centuries. No kings wore it knowingly. No emperors displayed it in royal crowns. No ancient treasure hunter searched for it by name. The world simply didn't know it was there. And that's where the mystery deepened. The discovery of Taaffeite is unlike any other gemstone story. Most gems are discovered deep inside mountains or hidden beneath layers of rock. Taaffeite was different. In 1945, an Irish gemologist named Count Richard Taaffe was examining a collection of cut gemstones. At first glance, everything seemed normal. The stones had already been cut and polished. They were believed to be spinels. Nothing unusual appeared to stand out. But Count Taaffe noticed something strange. One particular gemstone displayed unusual optical properties. The stone behaved differently when light passed through it. That tiny detail caught his attention. Most people would have ignored it. But curiosity changed everything. Further examination revealed a shocking truth. The gemstone was not spinel. It belonged to an entirely unknown mineral species. Imagine the surprise. A completely new gemstone had been discovered not in a mine, not during an expedition, but inside a finished collection of gems that had already been studied. What happened next shocked everyone. Scientists confirmed that the stone represented a mineral never before recognized by science. The gemstone was eventually named Taaffeite in honor of Count Richard Taaffe. To this day, it remains one of the few gemstones first identified after being cut and polished rather than discovered in its natural crystal form. The truth was even more surprising. Finding additional Taaffeite specimens proved incredibly difficult. Years passed. Researchers searched. Collectors searched. Gem dealers searched. Yet examples remained astonishingly rare. Some experts estimated that millions of diamonds could be found before locating a single gem-quality Taaffeite. Few people know that some gemologists spent decades without seeing a genuine specimen. That level of rarity placed Taaffeite into an elite category known only to a handful of gemstones on Earth. As knowledge of Taaffeite spread, collectors became fascinated. The gemstone had something no other stone possessed. It represented pure chance. Its discovery felt almost impossible. Museums began taking interest. Private collectors started hunting for examples. Gemologists treated every specimen like a scientific treasure. Unlike famous gems connected to ancient kingdoms or legendary rulers, Taaffeite earned its reputation through rarity alone. It did not need a royal crown. It did not need a famous owner. Its existence was remarkable enough. And because so few examples existed, every new discovery became major news among gemstone experts. Some stones eventually found their way into museum collections. Others disappeared into private vaults. Many remained hidden from public view. This only increased the stone's mystique. People began asking questions. How many were still waiting to be discovered? How many had been mistakenly identified as spinel? Could priceless taaffites be sitting unnoticed in old collections around the world? Nobody knew for certain. And that uncertainty made the gemstone even more fascinating. Every rare gemstone eventually attracts stories. Taaffeite was no exception. Because of its unusual discovery, many collectors began referring to it as the gemstone of chance. Some believed it symbolized unexpected opportunities. Others viewed it as a reminder that great discoveries often hide in plain sight. There were stories of gem dealers unknowingly handling taaffites without realizing their true identity. There were tales of forgotten collections being re-examined years later, revealing stones that had been misidentified for decades. Whether all these stories were true remains uncertain. But they added another layer to the legend. Some enthusiasts even nicknamed it the invisible gemstone. Not because it could not be seen, but because people looked directly at it for years without recognizing what it really was. And that's where the mystery deepened once again. How could such a beautiful gemstone remain hidden for so long? The answer lies in science. Taaffeite possesses characteristics that make it extremely difficult to distinguish from similar gemstones. Its appearance often overlaps with spinel. To an untrained eye, the difference may seem impossible to detect. Even experts require specialized equipment to identify it properly. This explains why taaffeite remained unknown for centuries. Nature had effectively disguised it. But the scientific wonders do not end there. Taaffeite belongs to a unique mineral group containing elements such as beryllium, magnesium, and aluminum. Its crystal structure is exceptionally unusual. Researchers continue studying its formation to understand how such rare conditions occur within Earth's crust. The gemstone formed under extraordinary geological circumstances. Specific temperatures. Specific pressures. Specific chemical environments. Everything had to align perfectly. The result was a mineral so rare that only tiny quantities formed throughout Earth's history. Its colors add another layer of beauty. Many specimens display delicate shades of lavender and violet. Others reveal soft pink tones. Some appear almost magical when viewed under different lighting conditions. Collectors often describe the stone as elegant rather than flashy. It does not demand attention. Instead, it quietly captivates those who see it. And perhaps that subtle beauty perfectly matches its mysterious history. Today, taaffeite remains one of the most sought-after gemstones in the world. Not because of massive advertising campaigns. Not because celebrities wear it. But because genuine specimens are extraordinarily difficult to obtain. Collectors understand a simple reality. When a rare taaffeite enters the market, another may not appear for years. This scarcity drives tremendous interest. High-quality specimens can command remarkable prices. Museums compete to acquire important examples. Private collectors treasure them as centerpieces of their collections. For investors, rarity creates value. For scientists, rarity creates fascination. For collectors, rarity creates desire. And taaffeite possesses all three. Its reputation continues growing among gemstone enthusiasts worldwide. Every discovery adds new information. Every specimen helps researchers understand the mineral a little better. Yet despite decades of study, much about taaffeite remains mysterious. And now we arrive at the biggest secret. The fact that surprises even experienced gemstone lovers. Most rare gemstones are discovered first and later become valuable. Taaffeite followed the opposite path. It existed in collections before anyone knew what it was. Think about that. For generations, people may have owned taaffites without realizing it. Some may have been sold as ordinary spinels. Some may still be hiding inside private collections today. Some could even be sitting unnoticed in gem boxes around the world. The possibility remains very real. That means undiscovered Taaffites may still exist. Not buried underground. Not hidden inside mountains. But already in human hands. The truth was even more surprising. The rarest Taaffites are so uncommon that many experts estimate far fewer exist than famous diamonds known across the globe. While diamonds are mined by millions of carats every year, Taaffite appears only in tiny quantities. That makes it one of nature's greatest hidden secrets. A gemstone that spent centuries disguising itself. A treasure that escaped detection. A crystal that fooled the world's experts. And perhaps it is still fooling them today. As we reach the end of this journey, one thing becomes clear. Taaffite is more than a gemstone. It is a reminder. A reminder that our world still contains mysteries. A reminder that discoveries can appear where we least expect them. A reminder that even experts can overlook something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. In a world where satellites map every corner of Earth and technology reveals secrets once thought impossible to uncover, Taaffite tells a different story. It tells us that wonder still exists. Some treasures remain hidden. Some mysteries remain unsolved. And some of the rarest creations on Earth are not waiting to be discovered deep underground. They may already be right in front of us. Quietly waiting for someone to notice. Waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. Because sometimes the greatest treasure is not the one hidden in darkness. It is the one hiding in plain sight. And few gemstones prove that better than Taaffite. Welcome back. Imagine holding a gemstone so rare that most people on Earth will never see one in their entire lifetime. Not because it is hidden deep underground. Not because it belongs to a king. But because only a tiny number of gem-quality specimens exist in the world. Now imagine that this extraordinary stone remained unknown to humanity for millions of years, hiding quietly within the earth, waiting for someone to discover it. Its name is Pudratite. A gemstone so rare, so mysterious, and so beautiful that even experienced collectors were stunned when they first learned about it. But what makes this crystal so special? Why do experts consider it one of the rarest gemstones ever found? And how did a forgotten mineral become one of the most sought-after treasures in the gem world? The answers are far more surprising than you might think. Pudratite is not a name many people recognize. Unlike diamonds, rubies, or sapphires, it rarely appears in jewelry stores. Most people have never heard of it. Yet among gemstone experts, its reputation is legendary. This rare mineral is known for its delicate pink color, although some specimens can appear violet pink or even nearly colorless. When light passes through a fine Pudratite crystal, it seems to glow from within. The beauty is captivating. But beauty alone is not what made this stone famous. Its incredible rarity is what truly separates it from almost every other gemstone on Earth. For many years, scientists did not even realize they were looking at something completely new. And that's where the story begins. The journey of Pudratite takes us to Canada. More specifically, to a famous mineral-rich region in Quebec. This area was already known for producing unusual minerals. Collectors and geologists had explored its rocky landscapes for decades. Among these mineral deposits stood a remarkable location known as the Poudret Quarry. The quarry was operated by the Poudret family, whose name would eventually become linked forever with one of the world's rarest gemstones. In the 1960s, researchers discovered unusual crystals within the quarry. At first, nobody understood their significance. The tiny crystals appeared different from known minerals, but they were extremely difficult to study. Years passed. Scientists continued examining the material, trying to understand exactly what they had found. Finally, after detailed investigation, a completely new mineral species was confirmed. The stone was named Pudratite in honor of the family connected to the quarry where it was discovered. For many minerals, discovery is only the beginning. For Pudratite, it was just the start of an even bigger mystery. The original crystals found in Canada were incredibly small. Most were far too tiny to cut into gemstones. As a result, collectors knew the mineral existed, but very few people believed it could ever become a gemstone of significant importance. It seemed destined to remain a scientific curiosity. But that was only the beginning. Years later, something unexpected happened. Gem-quality crystals were discovered in another part of the world. This discovery changed everything. In the mountains of Myanmar, a country famous for producing exceptional gemstones, larger and clearer Pudratite crystals were found. For the first time, lapidary experts could cut beautiful gemstones from the mineral. What happened next shocked everyone. The resulting gems displayed extraordinary brilliance and color. Suddenly, a mineral known only to specialists became one of the most exciting discoveries in the gem trade. Collectors rushed to learn more. Museums became interested. Gemologists began studying its properties in greater detail. And the legend of Pudratite started to grow. Throughout history, humans have always been fascinated by rarity. Kings collected rare jewels. Emperors filled treasure rooms with precious stones. Wealthy collectors competed to own objects that nobody else could possess. Pudratite entered this tradition in a unique way. Unlike ancient gemstones traded across empires, Pudratite was a modern discovery. There were no medieval crowns decorated with it. No ancient pharaohs wore it. No lost civilizations buried it in hidden tombs. Instead, its value came from something even more remarkable. Its extreme scarcity. Collectors understood immediately that they were witnessing the birth of a new legend. Every gem-quality crystal represented something incredibly uncommon. A treasure that very few people would ever own. As demand increased, prices began to rise. And with each passing year, the stone's reputation became stronger. Yet despite its growing fame among experts, Pudratite remained mysterious to the general public. Few people know that some of the world's most valuable treasures are not necessarily the most famous ones. Sometimes the rarest gems hide in plain sight. And that's where the mystery deepened. Whenever a gemstone becomes valuable, stories begin to appear. Collectors tell tales. Dealers share rumors. Mysteries grow. Pudratite was no exception. Because so few specimens existed, every major discovery attracted attention. Each new crystal seemed almost unbelievable. Some collectors described finding Pudratite as winning a geological lottery. Others compared it to discovering a hidden treasure that nature had concealed for millions of years. Unlike gemstones surrounded by ancient curses or mythical powers, Pudratite developed a different kind of legend. Its legend was rarity itself. People wondered how such a beautiful stone could remain hidden for so long. How could something so extraordinary stay unnoticed beneath the Earth's surface? The truth was even more surprising. Nature creates countless minerals. But only a tiny fraction form under the exact conditions required to become gemstones. Pudratite needed an incredibly unusual combination of geological events. A small change in temperature. A slight difference in chemistry. A tiny variation in pressure. Any of these factors could prevent its formation. The odds were astonishingly small. And that helps explain why so few specimens exist today. From a scientific perspective, Pudratite is fascinating. Its chemical structure is unusually complex. Its crystal formation requires specific geological environments that rarely occur. Scientists studying the mineral were amazed by its uniqueness. The stone often displays soft pink shades that appear delicate and elegant. Under proper lighting, high-quality specimens can reveal remarkable transparency and brilliance. Some gems seem almost ethereal. Almost unreal. Because the crystals are so scarce, each gem provides valuable information for researchers. Every specimen helps scientists understand more about the conditions that created it. And every discovery raises new questions. How many undiscovered deposits remain hidden? Could larger crystals still exist somewhere? Might another source be waiting beneath an unexplored mountain? Nobody knows for sure. That uncertainty only adds to the stone's appeal. In today's world, rarity drives demand. Collectors constantly search for gemstones that stand apart from the ordinary. Pudratite fits that description perfectly. Its limited supply makes it highly desirable. Its beautiful appearance increases its appeal. And its fascinating history gives it a story that few other gems can match. Museums value it because it represents a significant scientific discovery. Collectors value it because ownership is so exclusive. Investors appreciate it because genuinely rare gemstones often attract attention over time. But unlike mass-produced luxury items, pudratite cannot simply be manufactured. Nature controls the supply. And nature has been exceptionally stingy with this remarkable mineral. As a result, fine specimens often command impressive prices. Whenever a notable gemstone appears on the market, experts pay close attention. Because opportunities to acquire one are extraordinarily rare. Yet even these facts do not reveal the biggest secret. Because the most astonishing part of the story is something many people never realize. But the biggest secret was still hidden. Among thousands of known minerals on Earth, only a small number become recognized gemstones. Among gemstones, only a handful are considered truly rare. And among those rare stones, pudratite occupies an elite category. Some experts have described it as rarer than many gemstones that are far more famous. Think about that for a moment. Millions of people own diamonds. Thousands own sapphires. Countless collectors possess rubies. But genuine gem-quality pudratite? Only a tiny number of people can say the same. Its rarity is so extreme that many jewelers will never encounter one. Many collectors spend their entire lives without seeing a high-quality specimen in person. That is the shocking truth. Not that pudratite is beautiful. Not that it is valuable. Not even that it is mysterious. The most incredible fact is that one of the rarest gemstones on Earth remains largely unknown to the public. A hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. A masterpiece created by nature that most people will never discover. And perhaps that is what makes it so captivating. In a world where information travels instantly and almost everything feels accessible, pudratite reminds us that genuine mysteries still exist. Deep beneath mountains. Hidden within ancient rocks. Waiting patiently for discovery. Its story is not just about a gemstone. It is about curiosity, exploration, and humanity's endless desire to uncover the unknown. Some treasures are measured by size. Others by price. But the greatest treasures are often measured by how unlikely they are to exist at all. Pudratite is one of those treasures. A fragile pink crystal born from extraordinary geological circumstances. A stone that remained hidden for millions of years. A gemstone so rare that even today it feels almost mythical. And perhaps somewhere, deep within the earth, another crystal is waiting. Unseen. Undiscovered. Silent. Until the day someone finds it and adds another chapter to the incredible story of pudratite. Welcome back. Imagine discovering a gemstone so rare that even many experienced collectors may never hold one in their lifetime. A stone so unusual that for years, scientists believed it existed in only one small corner of the entire planet. A gem that shines with an electric blue glow unlike almost anything found in nature. Yet despite its beauty, most people have never heard its name. This is the story of benitoite. A gemstone surrounded by rarity, mystery, and scientific wonder. A crystal born from extraordinary conditions deep within the earth. A treasure that transformed a remote piece of land into one of the most famous gemstone locations in history. And by the end of this story, you'll discover why some experts consider benitoite one of the most extraordinary gemstones ever found. The truth is even more surprising than you might imagine. Benitoite is one of those rare treasures that seems almost unreal. At first glance, it looks like a sapphire from another world. Its brilliant blue color can appear almost electric under sunlight. Some stones flash with shades of violet and icy blue. Others seem to glow from within. But benitoite is not a sapphire. It is something far rarer. Many gemstones are found across multiple continents. Diamonds come from many countries. Emeralds are discovered around the world. Rubies appear in several famous mining regions. Benitoite is different. For much of history, nearly all gem-quality benitoite came from a single location on Earth. That fact alone made it legendary. Collectors became fascinated by it. Scientists studied it. Museums proudly displayed it. But that was only the beginning. The story starts in the rugged hills of California during the early 20th century. At the time, miners searched the region for valuable minerals. The land seemed promising, but nobody expected a discovery that would eventually amaze the gemstone world. In 1907, unusual blue crystals began attracting attention. At first, some people believed they had found sapphires. The stones certainly looked valuable. Their deep blue color sparkled brilliantly in sunlight. But something about them seemed different. Experts soon examined the crystals more closely. What happened next shocked everyone. The stones were not sapphires at all. Scientists realized they had discovered an entirely new mineral species. This was an extraordinary moment. Finding a completely new gemstone is incredibly rare. Most valuable gemstones had already been known for centuries. Yet here was something nobody had officially identified before. The new mineral received the name benitoite after San Benito County, where it was discovered. Almost immediately, curiosity spread. Gemologists wanted to study it. Collectors wanted to own it. Scientists wanted to understand how it formed. And that's where the mystery deepened. The more researchers learned about benitoite, the stranger the story became. The crystals formed under extremely unusual geological conditions. Deep underground, unique combinations of pressure, heat, and rare elements worked together over millions of years. The result was a gemstone unlike any other. Its crystal structure was unusual. Its chemistry was unusual. Even its formation process was unusual. Nature had created something incredibly rare. As news spread, benitoite slowly gained fame among collectors. People traveled long distances hoping to see these remarkable crystals. Some specimens displayed sharp triangular shapes that seemed almost too perfect to be natural. Others sparkled with incredible brilliance when cut into gemstones. Soon, museums began acquiring notable examples. Private collectors competed to obtain the finest pieces. The stone's reputation continued to grow. But unlike diamonds or rubies, benitoite remained mysterious to the public. Few people knew that one of the world's rarest gemstones was hidden in the hills of California. As the years passed, benitoite developed an almost mythical reputation among gem enthusiasts. Rare stones often attract legends. Benitoite was no exception. Some believed the gem carried special energy because of its unusual blue glow. Others claimed it enhanced creativity and intuition. Stories circulated among collectors about the stone bringing inspiration and clarity. Whether these tales were true or not, they added another layer to the gem's growing mystique. There were also stories about the famous mine itself. The location became legendary among treasure hunters. People dreamed of uncovering hidden pockets filled with brilliant blue crystals. Some visitors spent years searching for exceptional specimens. Many left empty-handed. A few discovered treasures worth remembering for a lifetime. This unpredictability only strengthened the stone's reputation. Every new crystal seemed like a gift from the earth itself. And that's where the mystery deepened even further. Scientists eventually uncovered one of benitoite's most fascinating secrets. Under ultraviolet light, many benitoite crystals display a remarkable reaction. They fluoresce. Suddenly, the stones can appear to glow with an entirely different kind of beauty. It is almost like watching the gem awaken. This phenomenon amazed researchers and collectors alike. But fluorescence was only one part of the story. Benitoite also possesses extraordinary optical properties. When properly cut, it can display exceptional brilliance. Light enters the gem and dances through its structure, creating flashes of intense color. Some experts compare its sparkle to diamonds. Others argue it has a unique appearance all its own. Either way, the visual effect is unforgettable. Few people know that benitoite is actually composed of elements rarely found together in such a gemstone. Its chemical makeup includes barium, titanium, and silicon. This unusual combination contributes to its rarity. The geological conditions required to create benitoite are so specific that nature rarely repeats the process. That is one reason why major deposits are almost non-existent. For decades, gem-quality benitoite remained one of the rarest treasures available to collectors. As supplies became limited, demand continued growing. Collectors recognized an important reality. There would never be an unlimited supply. Every year, fewer exceptional stones entered the market. Prices gradually increased. High-quality specimens became especially desirable. Large transparent crystals were considered extraordinary finds. Fine faceted gems commanded impressive values. Museums competed for outstanding examples. Private collectors searched relentlessly for top-quality stones. Some specimens became centerpieces of world-class collections. And yet, benitoite still remained relatively unknown compared to diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. That hidden status only increased its appeal. Owning one felt like belonging to a secret club. A club reserved for those who truly understood rare gemstones. But the biggest secret was still hidden. Many people assume the rarest gemstones are the most expensive. That seems logical. Yet benitoite challenges that idea. Its rarity is astonishing. Some experts believe fine benitoite is significantly rarer than many gemstones that sell for much higher prices. Think about that for a moment. A gemstone discovered in only one famous location. A gemstone that collectors struggle to find. A gemstone admired by scientists and museums. And yet many people have never even heard its name. The contrast is remarkable. Its scarcity alone places it among the world's most exclusive gems. But there is another shocking fact. The famous benitoite mine eventually ceased regular operations. The source that made the gemstone legendary became increasingly limited. As a result, every existing crystal became part of a finite supply. No vast new production suddenly appeared. No enormous deposits transformed the market. The rarity remained. And that reality changed everything. Collectors began viewing exceptional benitoite specimens not only as beautiful gemstones but also as historical treasures. Each crystal became a piece of geological history. A surviving fragment of one of nature's rarest creations. The truth was even more surprising. The value of benitoite is not based solely on beauty. It represents a combination of rarity, scientific importance, history, and mystery that few gemstones can match. It is a mineralogical wonder. A collector's dream. A geological miracle. And perhaps one of the best examples of how nature can still surprise us. Today, benitoite remains California's official state gemstone. It serves as a reminder that extraordinary discoveries can emerge from unexpected places. Hidden beneath ordinary hills, nature created something almost impossible. A gemstone that glows with brilliant blue fire. A crystal born from conditions so rare that scientists still marvel at its existence. A treasure that transformed a remote corner of the world into a legendary destination for gem lovers. And perhaps that is the most fascinating part of all. Benitoite reminds us that some of Earth's greatest treasures are not the largest, the most famous, or even the most expensive. Sometimes the most extraordinary wonders are the ones few people know about. Waiting quietly beneath the surface. Waiting to be discovered. waiting to reveal their secrets. And somewhere inside a museum, a private collection, or perhaps a forgotten treasure box, a tiny blue crystal continues to sparkle. A silent witness to millions of years of geological history. A reminder that mystery still exists in our world. And that nature's rarest masterpieces often remain hidden in plain sight. The next time you hear someone mention the world's greatest gemstones, remember the name benitoite. Because behind that simple name lies one of the most remarkable stories ever written in stone.